if you're a Muslim man that hasn't had a genuine conversation with a wali or a serious candidate to marry, then you should stop watching anything on YouTube that talks about marriage and what a woman like, red flags, green flags, blue flags, no flags. You need to stop watching YouTube and go on the ground to real houses, meet real walis and real sisters. Because I've just come out of a coaching session with a client and we were unpacking a recent relapse that he had. And I got him to break it down and to really understand what was going on emotionally when that occurred. And it was discovered, or we uncovered, that he was at an event where marriage was a topic of discussion. And when the topic of marriage came to his way, this kind of made him to feel emotionally uneasy. And when we went deeper as to like why did this kind of come, why did that make you feel that way, we soon uncovered that he'd erected very large standards that he needs to hit before he's even in the conversation of getting married. And because he's so far away from these goals, the whole topic of marriage gives him gives him pain, emotional pain, and that was the actual cause of relapse for him at that time. So if the conversation of marriage is actually a cause for a relapse and to further ingrain yourself with porn addiction, then what are we doing? And it became apparent that it was because he'd consumed so much male, like self-development videos from a male point of view about what a man ought to be, what a man should be, what are red flags in women. When this brother has never had a genuine conversation, a genuine candidate where he was exploring the topic of marriage, but he had such large insecurities that he's not a viable candidate to even be in the pool of potential marriage or even seek marriage in a normal manner that doesn't cause any anxiety, and to even see what are the responses of real women. Would they actually be okay with him? Maybe he's actually exceeding the expectations, but he doesn't know because he watches videos of people talking very confidently and saying that you need to do A, B, and C, otherwise you're going to attract a negative wife or spouse, and then your life will be miserable. And this causes angst to the point where relapsing to pornography becomes the only outcome of where they can firstly, because it's a learned habit, it's an addiction, that this is the first avenue that they go to relieve themselves of this emotional stress. And on top of that, they feel so insecure that they don't even entertain actually taking logical steps of speaking to trusted relatives or people who are actually married and they respect and admire and would want to replicate that type of marriage, to even open the door of discussion for marriage. So marriage has become a cause of a trigger towards pornography addiction when it is touted as a solution to pornography addiction. So something is deeply wrong here. So we need to do less. If you are in this position yourself, you need to do less consumption of YouTube influences of what men ought to be in order to attract wives, and do take more action in actually investigating and speaking to people who know about marriage and actually speaking to real walis to get to know real sisters. And so you can actually start making discussions and getting real-time feedback on the reality on the ground rather than what's being bounded around on social media, causing you to feel even worse about yourself, and you don't even know what the actual consensus is about sisters and your situation in terms about your viability in being a good candidate, and also of what you are able to attract and seeing where you fit in the market as well. Less off online work and more work on the ground in reality.